Namaskar from Rourkela. It is match 8 of the Hero Hockey India League 2024-2025 coming your way shortly. It will see the Tamil Nadu Dragons taking on the Kalinga Lancers, the home team for Odisha. Currently sitting bottom of the ladder, desperate for a win. The only team without a point so far are the Kalinga Lancers. The Tamil Nadu Dragons, well, they're only 1 point ahead of them, so must-win game for both these teams as Amit Rahidas's Tamil Nadu Dragons take on Aaron Zaluski's Vedanta Kalinga Lancers. But it is wonderful to see so many happy people here taking in the hockey. The umpires make their way out, Kunvan Bunga and Anand Dangi. And the video umpire for tonight will be Surab Rajpal. As now the players make their way out, Aaron Zaluski missed the first game, but will be taking part tonight for the Lancers. Lancers in the blue, the Tamil Nadu Dragons in the yellow, although they may say it's gold, as they are, of course, the defending champions, having last won the Hero Hockey India League. But for the Tamil Nadu Dragons, David Hart starts in goal again. Chandan, as we heard from the coach Ryan Van Eyck, wanting to press for a place in the Australian junior team. Anand Lakra in the middle. Amit Rahidas will be so important, but it's their forward line that looks really lively. Uttam, Govers and Dilapan getting a debut performance.
The Kalinga Lancers, Pathak starts in the goal. Arthur Van Doren, Alinza and Hendricks and Pratap Lakra bring up the back. Antoine Kina and Ravi Chandra hold the center. Enrique Gonzalez, Gursarabjit Singh and Thierry Brinquin in the front line. Look out coming from the bench, Aaron Zuluski, Bir Anand, Angad Singh and Bobby Singh.
Ten,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1. Let's play.
The whistle goes and we are underway. Comes wide to Tom Craig, an early touch for him. And then goes back, Anand Lakra. I was surprised when we saw that lineup. It is in fact Yip Janssen and Amit Rohidas in the middle, with Lakra pushing up the side on one side and Yadav on the other. Great run into the circle by Sorsby. Sorsby to the baseline, and a penalty corner's been given. Well, that was a brilliant run.
Like a hot knife through butter, Ashley. Just ran through the central defense of the Kalinga Lancers to earn Steve the first penalty corner. Pretty much unchallenged.
Well, it's appropriate you say that, because Tom Sorsby comes from Sheffield, known for its steel and making cutlery. So he certainly is a hot knife through butter. So Yip Janssen is at the first battery. Blake Govers at the second. Janssen with the second attempt, wide of the mark this time. So yeah, no, that makes sense now you say that the penalty corner has to be completed.
And that flick really had some pace on it. Probably just missing out on the angle. Not sure if Pathak had that covered though.
Ryan Van Eyck will be a little bit disappointed his team haven't been more clinical from the penalty corners. That was one of the things he was saying he wanted to see from his team today. Felt they played well in the opening game, but just weren't clinical enough. Gonzalez, good sharp save from David Hart.
Just thought he should have closed him down faster on top of the circle. Take a look at that tomahawk. Well positioned, the goalkeeper on that occasion, straight into his chest.
Dilpreet. In the end, happy to play it back into the defensive line. Van Doren. Oh, into the circle. It's going to be a long corner.
Yeah, lovely defense. I thought, Ashley, that's one of the most difficult balls to defend in the D on the deflected ball.
The Tamil Nadu Dragons have struggled to hold possession for any period of time. They sort of get in 2/3 of the pitch and then lose out, but they've got a free hit now in the final third. So what can they mount from here? Apart from Salisbury's run, there's not been much. They're in the circle now, and it's going to be a long corner their end of the field of play. Taken quickly by Zwicker. We'll come back to Zwicker just outside the 5 metre line. He fires that one in, but unfortunately lifted it too high, creating danger. So ball goes back to Kalinga Lancers.
Yeah, the idea was good to pepper it into the tee, but unfortunately a lifted ball.
Bandarak going one way then the other, and takes it back down into the corner. He takes 2 defenders with him. He's lost the ball now. Now he has to do the defending. Through the legs it goes, over the side, and it's done a good job because it's their ball. Plays the ball back. Diagonal pass goes all the way from Anand Lakra out onto the left-hand side. It's going to come back to him. No, it's not. Amit Rohidis goes back down the left-hand side to the baseline. Did it go over the line? It did indeed. Uttam was trying to turn quickly with the ball, but it just bobbled up off his stick.
Yeah, I just thought there was great skill by Uttam, trying to keep the ball in play while in the air.
There's Aaron Zalewski with a green card, 2 minutes on the side. His first spell sitting in there. Sure, he'll hope it's his last as well.
Yeah, and he has been the magician of many a victory for Australia, hasn't he, Ashley?
Yeah, he made his debut, of course, against India, very close to his hometown of Margaret River. It was in Bunbury, and he scored when he came on. I think it was in something like the 57th minute, and not a bad debut in 2011. Of course, just retired from international hockey now. Amit Rohidis goes wide again to Anand Lakra. Lakra, well, he played the good ball in there, but Hendricks was there to clean up at the back for Kalinga Lancers. Amit Rohidis does the same, feeds it to Yip Janssen. It's a better spell now as we're into the final 5 minutes of the first quarter. Sorsby, a little bit of space for him. Decides to come wide, feeds it to Anand Lakra. Lakra over the 23 metre line, feeds it to the baseline. There's Tom Craig, back out to Amit Rohidis. Using the left-hand side, Zwicker feeds it forward. And that's a foot, so they've got a free hit just outside the 5 metres. Thrown to the air, and must go outside the circle because it hadn't travelled the 5 metres, although it probably had, hadn't it, when you consider that he was just outside the 5 metre line. But no, it would have to go outside before it could go in the circle, so no, it had to go outside. Good work again by Van Doren, and a lovely pass by him. Listen to the crowd as they come forward. That was a good pass by Dilpreet. Finds Zalewski, and then into the circle. Unfortunately, just getting right underneath that was Gursabajit.
Too narrow an angle, Ashley, for him to try on goal. He had a better option of trying to pull it back and maybe find a foot and create a penalty corner.
Yip Janssen obviously got a touch on that because it was ball to the Lancers from the side. From where we were, he was just stretching and never going to get near it, but must have got a little bit of something on it. Mandeep Moore. Good ball again into the midfield there. Ravichandra. Mandeep Moore, well, that was a tricky ball. He did very well under pressure from Uttam, and he's upended there by Sorsby. And Sorsby, as well, it should be, I thought it was Sorsby, it's Uttam actually who's got the card. Green card, 2 minutes on the side. That was the foot, was it? No, not according to the umpire. And no complaints from Kalinga Lancers.
Yeah, but he did try to find the foot of the player in the D, Ashley. But good evasive action by the defender. No damage done.
It was just the way the ball kicked up. For a split second, I thought it might have caught it. We'll see here. And that's the other end when it was. There's Uttam sitting on the side, getting some refreshments as well. Just over 2 minutes remaining now in the first quarter. No goals as yet. It's sort of been a game where we've seen the Lancers dominate, and then there was a short spell where the Dragons were well on top. Now the keeper, apart from a few brief moments, really worried.
Yeah, not much to choose between the two teams at the moment, Ashley.
Antoine Keener playing that one in. He was looking for Gersabajit. Valentin Altenberg having a chat with Arthur Van Doren on the side. Van Doren not the captain, Zalewski is, but I'm sure a very important leader on the field of play. It's gone harmlessly over the baseline.
The ball played into the D, unable to pick up. That would have been in a good position had he been able to pick up that ball, Ashley.
We should mention as well that Tamil Nadu Dragons are a man down in terms of their squad, in that we've heard Rahil has a bit of a hamstring injury, and that's a major blow because he was playing really well in the first game.
Yeah, good sharp lad, comes from the city of Bangalore. Did his schooling from St. Joseph's Indian High School, but it's a pity he's with an injury now. Just hope it's not too serious.
I think everyone does. Nice turn by Dilpreet again, comes through the middle, stopped immediately, but that was a wild swing. Free hit is taken quickly by Keener. Into the circle it goes. Gonzalez trying to get it forward, swept away by Janssen. It'll come back though. Keener again played it early. Good defence once more. It was Martin Zwicker at the top of the circle, clearing it out of the top of the circle. Thrown to the air, and the whistle goes, not for 5 metres, and the hooter follows the whistle, and that is the end of the first quarter. I'd have to say that in boxing parlance, that round just probably won on points by the Lancers, but no goals as yet. As we look at the stats, 2 circle penetrations for the Dragons, 9 though for the Lancers, so that confirms what I was saying. No goals as yet though. As we head into the first break, it is Tamil Nadu Dragons 0, Vedanta Kalinga Lancers 0. The second quarter, 0-0 here in match 8, the final match in the second round of matches. And incredibly, we've only had 4 wins so far. And both of those, or sorry, all 4 going to just 2 teams who've won both their opening games.
It might look like they are way superior, Ashley, but that is not to be. Still early days in the tournament.
It is, but it's a good way to start, isn't it? A win always helps.
Absolutely. And just by looking at those stats that were shown during the halftime, 9 circle penetrations to the Lancers, but you need to convert the circle penetrations to tries on goal. Else it's of no use just penetrating the circle and not making something of it.
Having to scurry across and make sure they kept possession there. That was good work again being done by Dilpreet. Comes wide now. There's a little bit of space here for Ravichandra. But he's just turned that one over. Again, a heavy touch though from Tom Craig. Sees it go back with the Lancers. Keener will get a free hit, top of the circle. Van Bunga very clear that he wants to defend his 5 metres. Goes to Keener again. Keener slides the ball in. What did that touch? It's going to be, I think, a long corner. Into the circle, picked up well. Shot on the turn, Hart saves. Good save to deny Angad Bir Singh.
Great pick up by Bir Singh on the reverse.
And now the Dragons trying to run out. Great steal again, Dilpreet. What a game he's having. Angad Bir Singh again making his run forward. Product of the SD College in Chandigarh. Here's the save from David Hart. Well, they're creating the opportunities. They've got to get the goals.
That's what's going to win them the match. Aldi, Ashley, you need to get the goals.
I have to say, I know people like all the stats today with assists and all of that. To me, the only stat that matters is how many goals you get.
Yeah, winning the match is all that matters. You could play badly but still win the match. I'll be happy with that as a coach.
And fans would be too. Fans really don't mind how their team wins as long as they do. Arthur Van Doren picks it up, feeds it forward to Antoine Keener, who again has been really busy. Looking to feed it through to Gonzalez, and that time just a little bit too much pace. And he's frustrated with himself. He was just twizzling his stick in his hand and looking up into the night sky. Change has been rung down below. Uttam off for a breather. Amit Rohidis very calm. Good run again by Salisbury, but he just left the ball behind, and it was almost like he wondered where it had gone. That's a really good pass again, and a chance coming forward. It's Antoine Keener. Can he get on the forehand? He does. David Hart saves it with his left foot. Another chance goes begging for the Lancers.
It was a great setup. It looked like a training session practice drill, Ashley, 3 versus 3. But then David Hart standing tall again.
Gonzalez, lovely turn, looking to try and lay it back, and appeals for a penalty corner this time are rewarded as the umpire's arms are stretched out in front of him. First penalty corner for the Lancers.
Yeah, they're just getting better and better, are they not, Ashley? We'll have to wait and see if they can make something of this penalty corner and go up in the lead.
Valentin Altenberg watching on closely. I'm sure he desperately wants his team to get a goal. Sanjay comes in, and there's the foot, no denying it, right in front of the umpire. So Hendricks is at the first battery. They go to him, takes a deflection. It's going to be a long corner.
Yeah, Amit Rohidas, that was with a rush out, Ashley. Arguably one of the best first chargers in the sport of hockey at the moment.
I was just about to say that. I would agree with you wholeheartedly. Aaron Zalewski now, the captain of the Lancers. Had to come back to Arthur Van Doren. Hendricks. Oh, got away with that one. Govers, a little bit miffed, I think. It hit him on the shin, but that's a top pass and a great take by Banderak, top of the circle. Good chance, trying to lift it over the keeper. Hart, superb though. Came out quickly and stayed tall. David Hart is earning his money tonight.
Just thought that was a great setup, Ashley. Overlapping from the left and taking a try and goal. Yes, David Hart. What can we say?
The man from Ballinspittle in County Cork. That was a great layoff by Banderak. Keener, well, it was hard, wasn't he? He was upright on the reverse, but it was still a very good save by David Hart. He's a giant of a man. If he's bearing down on you, it would be almost quite scary, I think.
Just one thing that we learn in sport, Ashley, don't play to the name, play to the situation.
Absolutely. That's 6'5" coming out at you at speed, and I don't know how much he weighs. I do remember the Hockey World League. He had a collision action, had to be carried off the field of play. He was unconscious, and it was a very scary moment. I was commentating that game. Keener again. Oh, a lovely touch by Zalewski. Hart, though, off his line. And there's going to be a stick check when Zalewski went into the circle from one of the Dragons players. So penalty corner.
But how good a leave was that at the top of the circle, Ashley? Getting the ball to Zalewski. The stick check there. penalty corner for the Lancers.
So Kotajit, I think, was the player penalised. It might have been just a shove at the top of the circle. So Bandarak is going to be at the second battery. Alexander Hendricks is at the first. Goes to Hendricks again, he flicks, Hart saves and appeals for a penalty corner again. So third penalty corner for the Lancers. Still no goals. 5 penalty corners in the match so far.
There's the injection and a great flick, but then a penalty corner yet again.
So they take up the same positions. They go to Hendricks again. Goes into the first runner once more, but it's going to be a long corner as it came off the stick and went over the baseline. Coaching staff watching on with Thierry Brinkman. Good work again, top of the circle, falls to Zalewski, and it's smashed into the shins of, I think it was Yip Janssen.
Yeah, little deflection on top of the circle. Came up pleasantly for Zalewski. Good try on goal, yet another penalty corner. Are they going to make it count now?
Well, David Hart is determined that they're not.
There's the deflection, a perfect position for Zalewski.
Going a little bit straighter. Hendricks shifts to the left. It is Hendricks again. Oh, it's gone this time. Alexander Hendricks scores for the Kalinga Lancers, and they take the lead.
Blistering barnacles is what the man at the pole will be saying on that drag flick. Where did that come from?
Oh, just that slight shift at the top of the circle just seemed to change the angle and make all the difference.
And to beat David Hart in the goal with the drag flick, it has to be special. So we see it again. Perfect injection. Gave the flicker enough time, and between the goalkeeper and the pole man, that had some pace on it.
That was really good placement, wasn't it? Just between the postman, Zwicker.
Just a treat to watch when he put together a series of passes and attacked the goal.
Ludwig now. Gonzalez got a touch, but it's still going to be the Dragons' ball. Ludwig goes back into the defensive line. And Lakra feeds it out wide again, and down it goes from Chandan Yadav. Lovely pass to Uttam. Great block inside the circle as well. Truly outstanding, and now it's carried out of defence and a chance for the Kalinga Lancers to go forward again, but the Dragons have all dropped back behind the ball.
Uttam had the distance from the defender, but the defender doing very well to close him down and not giving Uttam so much of a chance to take a try on goal.
Once again, Martin Altenberg just giving instructions to his players. We've got just under 5 minutes now left in the first half. The Lancers have the lead. A win will lift them up to 4th on the ladder. If they win by 3 goals or more, they'll move into 3rd spot on the ladder.
Just guess at the moment, Ashley, they will be happy with a win, considering just the 2nd game in the league.
Especially after a loss in that opening game. Oh, Gonzalez, a lovely run through the gap, trying to take on the defence, but Amit Rahid is just showing his pace there, although he almost conceded then. Over the side it's gone. He just made a slight mistake there.
Gonzalez would have been better off just waiting for support to come.
Andy Moore. Comes wide again. Pucked up Lakra. Turned over. Chance to come forward for Maji now. Maji, good pass. Wanting the return pass as he goes on the outside. But unfortunately, Abaran Sudev loses possession. And listen to the roar from the local crowd as the Lancers go on the attack again. Lovely little sway of the hips to get him past one. Penalty corner one.
That's the penalty corner.
Well, that is, again, good play. And that was really well done by Dilpreet.
A great run along the right flank by Dilpreet. No, that was Virangat Singh. Doing well. A push on his back and a penalty gone out.
So lining up again, Alexander Hendricks, and alongside him is Partap Lakra. I'm sure they'll go to Hendricks. Shifts to the left once more, and it's not a good trap at the top of the circle. Comes to Hendricks now, he tries to flick. Up in the air it goes and smashed away. Play on is the call from the umpire. Pushed wide, Gonzalez deflects it into the circle along the baseline. Not in the first time, tried the second time, and it's going to be the Dragons' ball. Great awareness though, coming out of defence from Ravichandran. It's still though the Dragons on the attack now. Blake Govers, and he's stopped by a brilliant tackle by Hendricks. And Hendricks, well, he got back so quickly to be doing the defending there.
Absolutely, Ashley. Govers did well on the other end, trying to dink the ball over the defender. Defender up to the task.
Got 30 odd seconds left, leaping to try and keep that in play. But unfortunately for the Dragons, it's gone out of play. Keena, nice ball infield to Dilpreet. Dilpreet, wow, what a game he's having. Keena and him are really showcasing their skills. And Gadbir Singh into the circle he goes, looks to lay it back to Gonzalez. The hoot has gone as the shot came in from Gursabajit, who immediately apologises.
It's a half time, the score is.
But again, it was a really good attack. And not surprisingly, the Kalinga Lancers are smiling as they make their way off for the half-time break. David Hart has been kept extremely busy. We look at the stats, 19 circle penetrations, 6 shots, of which 5 of those have been saved by Hart. Just the one shot for the Tamil Nadu Dragons. And so it means we're heading into the half-time break. It is Tamil Nadu Dragons 0, Vedanta Kalinga Lancers 1. Well, welcome back for the second half of match 8 of the Hero Hockey India League. The home side Kalinga Lancers leading by 1-0 at the moment. The fans very happy about that. As you can see, there is the evidence. The question is, can they keep that lead? Created so many chances, Sandeep. You feel they need another goal to be assured of victory.
Yeah, absolutely, Ashley. And we did hear the coach Altenberg say during the halftime that he's very happy with the way the first half has gone. Created chances, but yes, if they can get another goal, then it's pretty much going to be difficult for the Dragons to come back into this game.
Although if they do what the coach wants them to do, he said they've not done anything that they were told to do. We'll have to wait and see. It could be a very different second half.
And also, like we discussed at the start of the game, Ashley, the Dragons depend so much on their foreign players because the Indian players are pretty much inexperienced. So it's up to them to really lift the game and lift the team.
Partap Lakra, just wondering what he's been penalised for there. But it is now the ball with Charan Yadav feeding it forward. Martin Zwicker comes back, goes to Yip Janssen. Played out wide now onto the right-hand side. For the Dragons, drilled to the edge of the circle, picked up well. Oh, what a response! Start of the second half. Tom Craig pounced on a loose ball and fires it past Krishna Patak.
Yeah, just a loose ball in the D, top of the circle. And Tom Craig, generally known to making hard runs into the D, but a great finish to get them on level terms. A brilliant tomahawk, and Patak couldn't really read that.
Well, just 45 seconds into the second half.
Yeah, just so crucial in defense, Ashley, that you bring a stick all the way down and keep it out on the floor. And he's done that exceedingly well.
Sanjay playing the ball forward, managing to pick out Bobby Singh Dhami. Haven't seen a lot of him in this match, but it's probably because most of the play has been in the midfield, and it's been Keena and Dilpreet who've been doing the work. Sabajit working very hard as well in the forward line with Angad Bir Singh for the Kalinga Lancers. And Janssen taking his time. Comes back to him. And he'll be closed down, but gets the ball up the side. Craig. Over the side it went. Quickly played in by Dilpreet. Van der Ack shoots, it's ricocheted up, cleaned up behind. That was brilliant defence behind the goalkeeper. It looked as if it was just going to dribble in. And now it's a counter-attack coming from the Dragons. Ephraim's feeds it out wide to Craig again. Craig looking for some space, top of the circle, looked to feed it back to Ephraim's, but it's going to be a free out for the Lancers.
Yeah, the idea was good from Craig. You see the replay on the far end.
Again, the Lancers now with Zalewski in the middle of the field of play. The deflection is a fortuitous one. Just managed to run kindly that time into the path of Pratap Lakra. Van der Ack, though, so close to getting a second for the Lancers. It's ricocheted up, edge of the area. There has to be danger. And again, the Lancers not happy. Must admit, I thought that was their free hit. I thought it came up off the two defenders' sticks. Tom Craig's made a good run, and he will get on the end of this ball. Plays it early. And Patak with a really important touch, but the defence hesitated. And that was not so good. Arthur Van Doren, I think, just waited. Didn't maybe realise the attacker was coming through behind him.
Craig laying that ball across the face of the goal. Parried away by Patak. Sudhir was quick to the challenge to try and take a try on goal, but nothing coming off it.
I'm just going to say something now, Sandeep, that I think is good, is that we're seeing Krishnan Patak as the main goalkeeper here for a side. We've seen so many of the foreign goalkeepers getting long games in goal, and it's great to see an Indian being trusted.
Yeah, that also gives the coach the opportunity to play his 5 foreign players in infield. So that is an advantage of having a good Indian goalkeeper.
Now, I'd like to see actually a rule brought in that you must at least give one of your backup goalkeepers a quarter.
I'd go one step ahead, Ashley. Maybe make a rule and say the Indian goalkeeper has to play 2 quarters.
Yep, fair enough.
Food for thought for the rule makers.
Yeah, that's not us though. We'll just throw it out there and see what people think. Deflection is a fortuitous one again for the Dragons across the face of goal. Oh gosh, just coming in at the back post. It was so close.
So important that you take the second post when the ball is played across the goal. Just not reading that. I think it just deflected off the stick, so it did pick that up. Gone begging yet again.
It's suddenly now the Dragons who look like the ones that are going to score the second. Tell you what, if you're watching this game, don't go anywhere, because I think there's a lot more to see in the final 21 minutes, I think it is roughly. Comes wide again, good overlapping run coming this time from Sushil Danwar.
Good defensive work in the deep by the Dragons. They have really upped the game, read the situation well, and just brought the ball out.
Trying high and long, they're liking the aerial ball out of defence. Sorsby cuts infield, pursued by 2 that drops to 1. Great pass by him, Uttam. Well, that was a sharp save by Krishnan Patak. Brilliant shot, top of the circle from Uttam.
Yeah, Uttam totally free on top of the circle. You do not want to give so much room. He's striking circle.
And free hit, one on the far side. And I've got to say, I think Thomas Sorsby's having a great game. When he gets the ball, things happen. Govers. Had to go the 5 meters, plays it in, but nobody on that line.
More hopeful than anything else on that occasion. Didn't really see where his player was, but just sprayed the ball into the D.
Real openness to some of the games. Sorsby now on the ball, dinks it through, good ball finding Tom Craig. Craig advances into the circle, gets onto his forehand, tries to flick it across, but lifted it a little bit too high.
He does it so often, doesn't he, Ashley? Tom Craig bulldozes his way into the D and just seems to run out of ideas once he's there.
Right, you know, they say that the hippo in Africa kills more people than the lion because you never stand between a hippo and water. Well, it's don't stand between the penalty corner, the circle and Tom Craig. That's my advice.
We've seen it in the previous game too. He has this tendency of just bulldozing his way into the D.
It's going to be another free hit. Striding forward is Janssen. Throws it high. That will be brought down by the Lancers. Van Doren will feed it out wide. Dilpreet now, an angled pass from him finds Brinkman. Brinkman put under immense pressure, and he's done well to keep possession. He now peels away to go inside the circle. Oh dear, not thrown in the air, but Dilpreet cleans up. Was he fouled by Sorsby? Yes, says the umpire. Short pass is taken quickly. Good block as trying to play that ball in was Mandeep Moore. In it goes, and Hart clears, but it's good work by Sanjay again. He's in the circle through the legs. It's really crowded with Dragons players. Shot is blocked again in front of the keeper. Still alive as Mandeep Moore carries it. Up it goes off the stick. Penalty corner.
Consistent pressure there from the Lancers and being rewarded with a penalty
Penalty corner for Vedanta Kalinga.
Appealing with the umpire. It did seem to have ricocheted off the defender stick up into the D. Dangerous play.
Well,
That is a penalty corner.
I think Janssen was saying it's coming to me and I wasn't in any danger, and the Indian player was the player that put his stick. That's what I think he was trying to argue, but the umpire having nothing doing. It was danger, full stop.
That's how I saw it too, Ashley.
So Hendricks again at the first battery, Sanjay at the second. Can the Lancers get another goal? Shift to the left again, Hendricks flicks into the first runner, gets the rebound, goal scored by Alexander Hendricks. He gets the second. Amit Rohidis did a great run, blocked it, but couldn't see where the ball had gone.
I just think it was a great advantage played by the umpire, Ashley. I think it came off Amit Rohidas's foot. We'll have a look at the replay. But how good was that for a finish on the rebound? They have taken the referees though.
It was a brilliant finish.
You're not sure what the referral was for. Let's wait and see.
The previous angle, slow it down and play. Previous one.
One like it.
Yeah. Anand, there is no clear reason to change your decision. Goal stands. And Tamil Nadu lose the referral.
Okay, lose the referral.
And listen to that crowd.
And look at them dance in the aisles. Are they not happy?
That's what you got to love about Indian crowds. When they're happy, boy, do they show it in the stands. Good steal again, coming forward that time by Roshan Kujo. Gonzalez feeds it out wide onto the left-hand side. 28 goals now in the tournament. And we're averaging 3.5 coming into today. We're keeping up with that average.
Yeah, that's what the crowd come to watch, don't they, Ashley? Goals, and more goals.
Sanjay, good block, edge of the circle, still with Sanjay. Another good block coming out that time. That was Martin Zwicker. Played out to the left-hand side, a little bit of space, fed into the circle, return pass into the David Hart's pads, and he just backheels it over the side.
I just think they've changed the goalkeeper. Actually, I'm not sure that's David Hart in the goal.
Comes wide again now. Chandan Yadav played it into the circle. Good defence once more from the Lancers. Helped forward, that was a really good pass to pick out Brinkman. It was Antoine Keener, Brinkman fed in, sliding into the back was Gonzalez, but that was superb defence coming back, and it was Thomas Sorsby.
But how good a run was that by Gonzalez without the ball, pretty much from his own 23-meter line, made the pace and almost scored at the other end.
And there's the Dragons again coming forward as that we just see that ball cleared. Tom Craig made a good burst through the midfield. He's fairly quiet in the first half. He's been very busy in this third quarter. It's a free hit to the Dragons. Can they get an equaliser? No, they won't get time. Luta goes for the end of the third quarter. And after being pegged back, the Lancers have shown real true grit and have managed to come back again and steal the lead. And they will take that lead into the final break. And now look, you can see how much the Tamil Nadu Dragons improved. 10 circle entries, 3 shots, and now just the 1 goal. 24 circle entries though, still for the Kalinga Lancers. And as we go into the final break, it's the Dragons 1, the Kalinga Lancers 2. The final quarter underway. Peg back once, the Dragons have really come back in this match in the third quarter. And you feel that this next 15 minutes is going to be helter-skelter.
Yeah, don't go anywhere to the viewers who've tuned in. This is going to be one hell of a 15 minutes.
Now, you haven't got time to make a cup of tea now. Here come the Dragons straight away on the attack. The ball laid back, good touch. Sorsby goes wide. Zwicker makes himself available. Comes now to Chandan Yadav, who'll be relieved that they didn't score from his little push. Chandan again. Sorsby to Yip Janssen. Rohidis. Woof, he drilled that one.
Yeah, a little wild by Rohidas on that occasion. A sense of desperation slowly creeping into the Lancers.
The Dragons, I think you mean. Brought down again by Kotajit. He goes back to Yip Janssen. Amit Rohidis. Just let that one run a little bit too far ahead of himself, but recovered well. Janssen. Angad Singh doing shuttles between the two of them. And that's taken a deflection and it goes all the way through. Important touch, but stolen inside the circle. That was very well played by Blake Govers. Govers gets the free hit now, looks to turn. It's taken away from him, kept in play as he was appealing for a corner, but turned over now. Moritz Ludwig looking to feed Govers, gets the ball to ricochet back to him. He still has it, into the circle it goes, was aiming for just in front of the penalty spot, but everybody ahead of that line.
Yeah, great play by the Dragons on that occasion, trying to create something, but gone a begging.
It was a good ball. Nobody, though, unfortunately, on that line for the Dragons. Zalewski did well to keep possession. Comes wide to Sanjay now. He cuts infield, feeds it forward to Rabichandra. Rabichandra, well, 2 players pursuing him, still going. Ludwig gets the touch, and it will be a free hit to the Dragons. Well, now we've got 5 players in the top scoring charts with 2 goals. Add to Sudeep Chamako, Thomas Dominic, Kane Russell, Rupinder Pal Singh, the name of Alexander Hendricks. Brought down inside the circle, it caught the foot. They've got a penalty corner now. The Dragons, their 3rd of the match. Not had too many of these, and a really good opportunity for them.
Very well brought down Ashley on top of the circle, kept his composure, and a penalty corner. The constant pressure paying off. Let's see if they can make this penalty corner count though.
Shishi Gowda, a Karnataka boy, bringing that one down inside the circle. So Yip Janssen lining up. Just trying to see who's at the second battery. I think it is Blake Govers. Yep, it is indeed Blake Govers. So Janssen at the first battery, Govers at the second. Will they go with Govers? They do indeed. Govers flicks this time. Goes straight into the first run. It will be another penalty corner.
Just thought it wasn't stopped cleanly. Actually, the ball was rolling, but did well to execute the flick. But there is a referral.
So, guys. Yes, sir.
There is no clear reason to change your decision. We start with a penalty corner and Lancers lose the referee.
All right, cheers.
And the Lancers lose their referral. Govers and Janssen already in position, waiting at the top of the circle. There's still some conjecture from the Lancers players. The whistle goes, they go to Janssen again, and he gets a goal back. They're back on level terms. Yip Janssen opens his account. So Dragons 2, Lancers 2. Ludwig tries to fire it down the line. It's stolen away by Dilpreet. In fact, it's Dilpreet doing well, kept possession. He's managed to feed it to Keenart. Keenart deflected it into the body. The defender deflected it into the body of the player, and it sent a free hit outside the circle. Well,
Yeah, it was lifted from outside the circle, Ashley. There's no reason why he can give that as a penalty corner.
so it came up off the player outside, and Gasabajit coming in. He's won a penalty corner this time.
That's a penalty corner.
Now that is a penalty corner. This could be the crucial variation that we're going to see.
Well, it could be. Hendricks lines up again at the first pressure. This time they shift to the right. Hendricks straight down the middle. Good save again. Prince Deep doing well, and it's gone straight into their own player. So now there's 15 seconds for the Dragons to throw it long. Need to bring that down. It was watched brilliantly, and it'll be taken over into the corner. We are headed for a shootout. There goes the siren. So a last-minute chance for Kalinga to win the match, but they couldn't take it from the penalty corner because Prince Deep Singh made a sharp save to give his team the chance in the shootout. The players shaking hands. Credit to the Dragons for their comeback. Final score, Tamil Nadu Dragons 2, Vedanta Kalinga Lancers 2. We're headed for a shootout. So Arthur Van Doren will be the first to go for the Lancers, and he will face David Hart. Van Doren crouched over the ball. The hooter goes, he advances, so too does Hart, past the penalty spot. Collision between the two, Hart saves and sweeps the ball away. So the Dragons have first blood. Toby Reynolds-Cottrell. Now it's Ludwig, Moritz Ludwig. The big man comes forward. Toby Reynolds-Cottrell staying on his feet. Ludwig has to go, and he gets it. Whoa, that was pretty close.
I just thought he was running out of time there, Ashley. But Ludwig doing well.
Anyway, Angad Bir Singh to try and pull the goal back in the shootout for the Lancers. David Hart again comes a long way. Angad Bir Singh. Oh my word! A double 360 from him. That is confidence. So one apiece with now the Dragons to go. Coming forward, Mandeep Moore. Well, there you go. Now it is the Lancers, Thierry Brinkman. Brinkman advances on Hart. Hart reaches and Brinkman spins and gets it. So the Lancers now have the advantage. Now the Australian Nathan Ephraim's steps forward to take on Toby Reynolds-Cottrell. Ephraim's goes off to the right, then runs across the P spot to the left. Cottrell goes to ground. Ephraim's puts it in the roof of the net. We're still tied up at 2 apiece. So now Antoine Kina, who I thought had a top game today, and he'll want to make sure he scores just to round out a wonderful performance. He advances on David Hart, doesn't turn his back. Oh, and just pushes it underneath the big man. Antoine Kina makes it 3-2. It will now be Uttam to take on Reynolds-Cottrell. Hooter goes, Uttam pushes it a long way ahead, gets there, goes off to the left-hand side, straightens up, tries to go underneath and then lifts it over the top. 3-all. So Dilpreet will go now for the Lancers. If they both score here, we're going into sudden death. Dilpreet, David Hart ahead of him, looks to go with his stick. Dilpreet stays calm, runs round and just pokes it in. Well, that was cheeky from Dilpreet, and what a game he's had tonight. A player high on confidence. So the last chance now. Dragons must score. Setting off, goes down to the left-hand side. It's Blake Govers. Oh, yes. Govers gets them equal, and so we're going into sudden death. And of course, we reverse the teams now. It will be the Dragons to go first. Same 5 players, and they can change the order if they wish. And it is Ephraim's that goes first this time around. A little push from the keeper, but Ephraim says, don't worry me, I'm still going to put it in the roof of the net. Now beat Thierry Brinkman up next for the Lancers to keep them in the shootout. Brinkman goes straight down the middle. David Hart is there. Good stick work. Oh my word, that was special. Going second this time around in the sudden death. Can Toby Reynolds-Cottrell keep him at bay? Ludwig reversing. No, he can't. So Ludwig gives the Dragons the lead again. So now it is the man high on confidence, Dilpreet, up against David Hart. 6-5 to the Dragons. Dilpreet, of course, must score to keep them in the shootout for the bonus point. Hart comes, Dilpreet. It's saved by Hart, and it's saved by Hart again. And the Dragons get the bonus point. Well, there was contact from Hart on Dilpreet. Did it affect the way things went? Hart is getting patted on the helmet. I'm sure it's pretty loud inside there. The Dragons' flags are flying high. They have got the bonus point. Well, there we go. The shootout 6-5 in favour of the Dragons after a 2-all draw. So the Dragons get the bonus point.